Hello, and welcome to Maui Live, Maui's TV and radio show spotlighting Maui's incredible talent. Maui Live is taped live for television and radio each and every week at the Stepping Stone Playhouse in the Queen Ka'ahumanu Center. Maui Live features lots of great music and interviews with celebrities and local businesses. And Maui Live is the home of the Maui Live Show band, Old, Maui's old-time rock and roll band. Maui Live is a production of Larry John Wright Hawaii and Silver Pixel Studios. And now, here's the host of Maui Live, TV and radio personality, Eric John Molina. It's time once again for Maui Live.
Hello, I'm Eric John Molina, and welcome to Maui Live, Maui's TV and radio show. Tonight we got a great show for you, featuring the ukulele virtuoso, Andrew Molina. Let's get on with the show.
Aloha and welcome to Maui Live. You are in for a very special musical treat. Our guest, an ukulele virtuoso, the one and only Andrew Molina is in the studios with us. Aloha, welcome.
Oh, thanks for having me.
How did you get started playing the ukulele anyway?
Well, you know, a couple of my friends actually, they used to come over and play it, strum along, and then...
Well, you didn't have one, and they did?
Oh, no, my grandma actually had an old kamaka.
Oh, really?
So I used to play on that thing.
That's sweet. So that's not the ABC plastic
No,
guy.
no,
I mean, you're
no.
like, this is for real stuff.
Yeah.
And so what, did you use your fingers initially, or were you making the fake paper, fold over for your pick?
No, I tried to strum and pick, but it was at the beginning it's really hard because my fingers are not used to it.
Yeah. So what did you end up doing? Just kind of copying songs that you were hearing on the radio, or were you picking up stuff on your own?
Yeah, like I remember one of my friends came in and played this version of My Heart Will Go On.
Oh, really?
So it was like, not like the traditional Hawaiian kind of music. And I was like, oh wow, that's cool. And then when I actually heard the song, it was in a Borders. And then I found out that the person who did the cover was a guy named Jake Shimubukuro.
Yeah, not familiar with him. Well, you want to share with our audience who Jake is?
Yeah, Jake is like he's one of the most well-known ukulele players out there to this day, and over the years he's been a good friend and mentor.
When did you run into him?
Well,
how old were you?
I was around 13 at the time. I was at the West End of Maui.
Was he performing there?
He was doing a function over there.
Like a workshop, or he was doing like a function for like a convention?
Yeah, he was doing a convention.
Oh, wow.
And
What did you do, like walk out of the dark wings?
Oh, like my dad knew the bass player, so.
Ah,
yeah.
Connections.
Yeah.
It helps, doesn't it?
Of course.
So what was it like? He gave you some advice right off the bat, or did you like play some music for him?
Yeah, like I actually learned one of his songs, and I played it for him. And
Which
then,
one?
It was a song entitled Me and Shirley T.
Oh yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, and he was like, oh, this is how he was correcting my mistakes, and I was so thankful. Yeah. And then, just every time he came to Maui, I would go out and see him.
He's an amazing performer.
Yes, and he's a very nice guy.
And he's been selling albums worldwide, and he's very huge in Japan, but throughout the country, here in America, which is very cool. So you yourself, I mean, he's had numerous albums. You're getting ready to put your own together, right?
Yes, my debut.
You're looking for sometime in 2012?
Yeah, hopefully in a couple months, maybe like September.
Sweet, that'll be cool. You want to play something for us right now?
All right.
All right. Andrew Molina, right here on Maui Live.
This is a song entitled Ekahi because it was the first song that I ever wrote. And it goes like this.
Michael McCartney's wardrobe for Maui Live is furnished by him, a men's store featuring shirts, t-shirts, pants, shorts, and accessories. Located at 4310 Lower Hanoa-Pi'ilani Road in Kahana. Visit online at himmaui.com. Aloha and welcome back to Maui Live. I'm Michael McCartney along with our guest performing artist, Andrew Molina. Now you actually come from a long line of entertainers in your family, right?
Yeah, my grandpa and his brothers had like a 9 brothers and sisters, I think. They are a band of 9.
Oh, these would be like your aunts and uncles then, right?
Yeah.
Or no, grandfathers, so great aunts and granduncles. So it's like a huge family. Was this like the Molina band?
The Molina band.
Oh, okay, I get the connection.
Back in the like 1930s and 40s.
Have you heard old recordings, or are they just all stories?
Well, back when, actually a few years back, you know, they still used to play around. Yeah, so I had a little taste of what they used to play.
And your dad's a big influence on you too, huh?
Of course.
What was that like, having your dad be so supportive for you in the beginning?
He always like tried to help me out if I had like you know, if I wasn't doing something right, he'd always try to, you know, give me tips. Yeah, I don't know if I would be doing what I am doing today if my dad wasn't there to help me out.
Can you remember like some of those early tips were? Like what were you doing that was different than he said, hey?
He said maybe just relax on stage, or maybe practice your songs more, and you know, stuff like that. Or you don't do this on stage. Yeah.
Now what about when you're just practicing at home? Would you be distracted by, say, you know, some girl from school wants to talk to you and he's like, hey, get off the phone, it's time to practice?
No, not really. I would actually practice on my own, so I wasn't interfered.
How were your neighbors handling all your practicing? You would go late into the night?
I should ask them.
Man. Now, your dad actually he's in a band, he's a member of Slam,
Yes.
correct?
It's a jazz band. And
they've been playing all over the island.
Oh, yeah.
Have they been out outer islands as well?
I think they are going to go to Oahu.
So have you opened for them?
Not yet.
But you've jammed with them?
No, I
Really?
haven't, actually.
Oh, you got to kind of kick the door in and say, hey, guys, let me play.
Yeah.
Man. What can you tell us about some of the other members of your family?
Of course, we got Eric Molina. This is my third cousin.
Oh, no. The guy that is, like, introduced you?
Yeah.
You guys are related? Oh, man.
Yes.
This cannot be good.
Yeah.
We're going to have to talk to management about this. You got that, guys? No more. Nepotism, you got to love it. Now, but what about your mom?
No, she doesn't play any instruments.
But she was supportive of you from the beginning.
Of course. Well, she actually, you know, I'll take that back. She actually taught me my very first little ukulele, you know, drill.
Like, can you play one?
I think it goes like this. It's just like a 2-finger picking exercise.
Very dreamy, too. It's a good exercise. Wow, so she does play a little bit, enough to
Not
get you going.
not anymore. I try to get it out of her, but she's like, no. It's okay.
It's okay. No, shame.
Yeah.
What do you hope to accomplish over the next year or two? You've got an album coming out.
Yeah. I just hope
Do you want to travel around the neighbor islands and then go across the country, or follow maybe, you know, Jake's footsteps around the world?
That would be cool, you know. I just want to be able to the opportunity to perform more, you know. Actually, last year I didn't really perform anywhere, you know. But this year and then years to come, hopefully I can get out there, you know.
Well, you've been performing for so long, like the shops at Wale in the beginning, and just playing in front of people for so long. I'm curious, was there ever a moment where you had the weirdest reaction from a crowd?
Well, actually, me and my cousin performed at this, I think it was a party, and then we got discouraged because no one was paying attention. So we figured, let's just stop.
And then what happened?
Well, we decided to finish, but, you know, it was demoralizing.
Oh, wow. Well, you rose above it. See, that's the key. And speaking of rising above it, we're going to hear some great music right now. And this is the way the fingering, you've got kind of a rhythmic feel to how you do stuff that's kind of different that I've never really seen before with a lot of ukulele artists. So let's hear some more from our guest, Andrew Molina, right here on Maui Live.
Maui Live is underwritten by some of Maui's best businesses, like Maui Coffee Roasters. Fresh roasted Hawaiian coffee. Visit them online at mauicoffeeroasters.com.
Welcome back to Maui Live. You're in for a special treat. If you just tuned in, our guest is Andrew Molina. He's got an ukulele here that actually, what brand is this? Who makes this one?
This is a Kamaka. Chris Kamaka on Oahu makes these.
Wow. So this was this custom made for you, or he already had it made and you just grabbed it off the shelf?
It was actually a birthday present for my 14th birthday. It is a
Sweet.
custom. You know, you got the curly koa and, you know, the high grade of wood.
Do you worry about going like all the way up country and then coming down to sea level? You know, what it does to a neck to a guitar is because of the way he's got this finished, you're protected no matter where you are.
Yeah, nah, I'm all right.
So climate-wise, you're cool. Because
Yeah.
I've seen people get off planes like, oh, what happened to the neck of my guitar or my ook? But that's pretty cool. You have been doing some covers for a long time, but you're also doing your own original material, correct?
Yeah.
And so your album that's coming out later this year
Yeah.
is a reflection of that, all original material?
I have around 8 originals and 3 covers.
You mind sharing with us what some of those covers are?
All right. So one of the covers is "Just the Way You Are" by Bruno Mars,
Oh, cool choice.
and another one is entitled "High Noon" by Steve Oliver. And the third one is actually a theme song of the very first video game I've ever played.
Oh, looking forward to hearing that.
Yeah.
So you'll be doing that on this broadcast. How about we do that?
All right,
You up
sounds
for
good.
it? Okay, well, before we line up for that, why don't you go ahead and share with us, when you got started, you're telling us about having, Jake being your mentor.
Yeah.
When did you kind of feel like, I think I can do this on my own? Like, what age were you when you're like, you had the confidence to just step out, play in front of people?
Well, I was actually 14 years old. I used to play at this place called Shops at Wailea.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I used to go out every week and play like 3 songs. And yeah, it was pretty soon. It was like after a year I started playing.
Wow, that's pretty quick.
Yeah. When I see him perform, he had like no fear. So I was like, yeah, I can do that too. So I tried it out.
Now, what was it like when you're at that age, 14, and going out and playing at these places, and then going back to school?
Oh, it was definitely different. But it really helped my confidence in school. I was always that quiet kid who never said anything. But after I started playing the ukulele, I wouldn't shut up.
Mr. Molina, will you please keep it down? Was often heard.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I guess so. He's going to keep it clean for us. Why don't we go ahead and let you play a song for us? You up for it?
Yes.
All right, here you go. Andrew Molina, right here on Maui Live.
Maui Live is underwritten by some of Maui's best businesses, like Latitudes, Furnishings for Life. Visit them online at latitudeshawaii.com.
Hi, I'm Eric Molina, and we're here with Maui Live, and we have a special guest in the studio, Vinny Linares, the president of the board of the Maui Academy of Performing Arts, who's gracious enough to allow us to have this venue here at the Stepping Stone Playhouse. Vinny, thank you very much for coming down.
Aloha, Eric.
Hello. While we have you, can you give us a little history of this great venue?
Okay, this wonderful venue has been MAPA's venue for I think 5 years. The shopping center graciously allowed us to come in here for many reasons. The space was available, and secondly, it brings business to the shopping center. So it's a wonderful symbiotic relationship that we've had for the last 5 years with the shopping center. And we just closed the show here, sold out last week. 6
Narnia?
shows sold out. No, Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, Sleeping Beauty. Just
Yeah, so we had. I opened this theater with Scrooge.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the musical Scrooge. We opened this room with Scrooge 5 years ago, I believe.
5 years ago.
Yes.
And since then, what other productions have been here?
Oh, all our children's shows. We've also had shows in here by other theater groups. Like, let me see, we had Urinetown, we had Cabaret. We've done the Grapes of Wrath. Lots of shows. Children's shows, we just had 2 this summer. The Scottish play is going to be here in October.
And which one is that?
I can't say it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we just had this conversation.
Really?
Not allowed
Okay.
to say it in the theater.
But
it's
it is
bad
a
luck.
Scottish play.
The Scottish play by Shakespeare.
Right.
The crazy king who murders everybody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Well, Cabaret was fabulous here. And then recently you had a homemade production, Lesser Ahi.
Oh my goodness, yes. I was just sharing with your friend here, we've had 3 home runs in the last 3 months.
Yeah.
We had Lesser Ahi, sold out. We had Narnia, sold out. And then we had Sleeping Beauty with kids, sold out. So it's been a wonderful season this year in this theater, full. 155 seats, I think. Sold
It's
out.
about 155 for this venue.
Yes, right.
You know, and it's hidden. It's one of the unique venues hidden here at the Kahumanu Center.
Right.
You know, upstairs. Now, the history of this place, it wasn't always a theatrical venue.
It was a bar.
It was a bar.
Yeah, it was a great bar.
It was a great bar.
It was a great bar
Never
with,
got a chance to try
really
it out
good
when it's
local
here.
food. Shark something it was called.
Sure, and
yeah.
microbreweries.
That's right. It was a microbrewery. They were right over there.
Yeah.
The big brewery things were right over there. And we're sitting where the bar was. The bar was all around here. Yeah, it was really a fun place. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Well, luckily they gave way for this
Yes.
theatrical spot that we
And
have here.
I'm not quite sure how long we'll be here, but they tell us we're here as long as the place is empty.
That's wonderful.
And if they find somebody to come in here, they'll give us fair warning
Yeah.
to get out. Yeah.
Well, you know, while I have you, I did want to talk more about some of MAPA's programs.
Sure.
You know, I know that a lot of people are familiar with their theatrical presentations.
Adult
that are-
shows.
Adult shows that are
Right.
going on, but there's a lot of dance that's associated and theatrical camps. I know you guys have a touring camp that helps teach theater to students throughout the islands.
We're like an octopus. Okay, we have, I think,
Many faceted.
many facets.
many-
We have our dance program, 800 children from grade school to high school. About 850 kids come to our dance program every semester.
Wow.
So we're enrolling kids now. We have our Voices program. We have our touring show. 50,000 elementary school kids see our show during the year.
That's impre-
50,000
that's impressive. That's
see our
impressive.
touring show. We have our adult theater. Where we'll have 5 plays this year, starting with the Scottish play
The Scottish play.
next
That shouldn't be named.
month. No, October, and then ending with Lesser Ahi too. Okay, and then what else do we have?
Which is a local production written by
Local
Francis
actors, Francis
and,
Tawa, Derek Nakagawa, all local talent, local playwrights, and so forth. So, what else do we have? I think I'm forgetting something. We have our touring shows, Voices. Oh my goodness, and we have our camps.
Yes.
Sleeping Beauty and Narnia, those 2 sold-out shows from this summer were kids. One were for elementary school children. Narnia was for teenagers. They were both excellently done. Casts of 45 kids. Excellently directed by our directors and our teachers. So we have children, theater, we have dance, we're an octopus.
The touring companies that are going on.
Right.
And so what are some of the other productions that are going to be coming up that some of the people can see in this next year?
Okay, well, we're going to do the Scottish play.
Of course.
Then we're going to have our huge dance program at the MAC just before Christmas with all our 800 kids. About 110 kids will be in the Nutcracker. Then we're going to have a small musical in February, which goes it's unnamed at the moment. And then we're going
There's
to...
a lot of unnamed things that are
Unnamed
happening.
things, right.
Well, that's part of the surprise.
That's right. And
That's
then we're going to
part
have
of the
Lesser
excitement of
Ahi, and then 3 dance shows at the MAC. 3 big dance extravaganzas. That's part of our dance program. So we have a very busy year. We'll probably have about 9 productions.
Yeah, but MAPA also branches out. You do things like the garden party.
the garden
We do a
party,
lot
which
of-
is next month.
Yeah, a lot of social functions,
Right.
a lot of opportunities to get people to come out and just enjoy and support this wonderful organization.
MAPA is 37 years old.
Yeah.
We have been in business on Maui as a theater for children and adults and for dance for 37 years. It used to be the Maui Youth Theater, started by Linda Takita.
Yeah.
If any of you, do you remember her or that name?
Barely.
Barely,
Yeah.
okay. She started, we were at Punane Youth Center, which is gone. They tore the building down. So now we don't have a theater, we have a home up in Wailuku in the old National Dollar Store.
Yeah.
That's where the MAPA dance studios are and our props and so forth and all our costumes.
Yeah, I know we're running out a little time, but
Yes.
I just have a really quick question for you, because I know you've been so involved with theater for years, and as theater's evolved in the islands, I know, we talk about the EAO, and I hope you're willing to say something to that, because I know
Wonderful
the EAO,
organization. I was president of that organization 20 years ago.
It was really in disarray for many years.
Right, now they're doing very well.
And I know you had stepped in for a while, and was one of the board presidents there to
Right.
help reestablish that great venue.
Right.
Can you say a few things about that? I know, because it was in such bad disarray for a while.
Well, let me say that MAPA and Maui on Stage, we did shows together for 3 years. Two Houses, One Heart, it was called, and it was very successful financially back in the late '90s. It was spectacular. Maui on Stage, or Maui Community Theater, as it used to be called. They're doing a wonderful job reorganizing themselves. The people they have running the place are marvelous, and they're pulling it together. They're making money. They're filling the houses, and they're fortunate that they have a building.
Yeah.
They have a historic EL theater, which I was instrumental, and I'm going to brag about it, in getting from the county for Maui on Stage when I was president of Maui on Stage. And the county has met its obligation. They're fixing the building up. There's air conditioning. The roof is fixed. No more termites. So hopefully MAPA will also have a home like that soon. This is one of our homes, and we're looking at other venues so that we have a permanent venue for both children's shows, adult shows, and so forth.
Excellent.
So the theater community in the island is, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, a multi-million-dollar operation. So we spend and generate about $2.5 million between the two theater groups for salaries, food, entertainment, ticket sales, and so forth. We are an economic element in Wailuku and down here. Very few people realize that.
Yeah.
When they think of theater, they think of the MAC.
Yeah.
They don't think of the non-professional, we're professional, I'm talking about the amateur groups and all that on the island. They
Some of the
generate a lot of
nonprofits
money.
that are-
The nonprofits, that's
Right,
the word.
that
thank
actually
you.
that they can
Right.
house some of these smaller
Yeah.
productions.
MAP
and
is
get
$1.5
together.
million a year.
Yeah.
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 So it's a lot of money.
Thank you for that history, and I love it. Two
Okay.
houses and one heart.
Two houses and one heart. That
Vinny,
was before.
That was before. Vinny, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you for being the president of MAPA, and thank you for helping to support Maui Live.
Okay.
Maui Live is underwritten by some of Maui's best businesses, like Mana'o Radio, 91.5 FM, and online at mana'oradio.com.
And that's it for Maui Live, Maui's TV and radio show. A big mahalo to Andrew Molina, and we'll see you next time.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week's Maui Live, Maui's TV and radio show spotlighting Maui's incredible talent. Maui Live is taped live for television and radio each and every week at the Stepping Stone Playhouse in the Queen Ka'ahumanu Center. Find out more at MauiLiveShow.com. Maui Live features lots of great music and interviews with celebrities and local businesses. And Maui Live is the home of the Maui Live Show band, Old, Maui's old-time rock and roll band. Maui Live is a production of Larry John Wright Hawaii and Silver Pixel Studios. See you next week for Maui Live.